the volume.
Turn up the volume.
You've arrived at the destination for all things Kentucky. This is the Bleed Blue Network Podcast.
And then there was one. Terry, you're sporting the jersey. UCLA knocked off very impressively South Carolina today. There was, I know the margin was in the 30s, 79-51. It's the final score. This is a unique thing for Dawn Staley, South Carolina TV. This is back-to-back years. This is the first time in both men's and women's where a team has lost the title game by 20 or more points. Which is South Carolina. Go ahead, your take on the ladies.
UCLA has been tough. I've watched them. I watch a lot of women's basketball, particularly here in Iowa, and I've watched UCLA a couple of times, and they've just been a machine. Like just with Lauren Betts in the middle, Kiki Rice on the side, and Yaquez that had like a 20-point, 10-rebound performance tonight. UCLA has been tough all year long, so I'm not surprised that they won. I am surprised by the margin of victory. And shout out to Kiki Rice, who is the girlfriend of former Wildcat Cason Wallace. So there's the Kentucky connection to that. He had a shirt on with her number and a Bruin on it. So shout out to UCLA, first West Coast women's champion since USC in 1984. No, that's not the West Coast. It's California because Stanford's won. But shout out to the Bruins and Coach Close. They were fantastic all the way through.
Davo, anything to add?
I'm never gonna be upset seeing, South Carolina get demolished like that. Sometimes I feel like she needs a little more humbling, and she definitely got that. Definitely didn't. I thought it was going to be Texas. I thought Texas was a juggernaut, and obviously that didn't work out. And UCLA kind of took care of them, and then they took care of the other team from the SEC. So I'm just honestly happy to see any other team besides the UConns and the South Carolinas of the world to take home a title. So congratulations. It doesn't affect me either way. So congratulations.
Yeah. Nolan, your take?
I'm really happy for Corey Close. I think she's done an incredible job with that program. That's just an incredible rebuild or a building job that she's done over 15 years. And she seems like just like a great person. Like that's a person that really cares. If you saw her reaction after that Texas game, like literally as she's walking to shake hands, it's very cool. So it clearly meant a lot to that program. Admittedly, I didn't watch much of the game today because of Easter stuff, but I did watch the second half. And by that time, the game was done at that point.
Way done.
I'm like Davo, glad to see you, South Carolina and UConn not get it.
Drew?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the game, but obviously I kind of was following along on my phone and seeing stuff on Twitter and those things. Obviously it was a blowout, but kind of crazy. Dawn Staley did her thing after the game the other night to Gino and then turn around in the national championship and get smoked. So I guess, I don't know who really was in the wrong in that situation, but
talk to me about it. What is this backstory? I mean, clearly there's no love lost between Gino and Dawn.
Yeah, I think Gino had just had a problem with she didn't go out to shake his hand before the game or something, and I guess he was
shook his hand.
Personal opinion. Gino got upset because he lost and he didn't know how to handle it. I think that's pretty much exclusively what it was. I'm not a Dawn Staley fan. I'm typically a hater, but at the same time, I really don't see what the problem was with anything during the game. She was just being normal Dawn Staley. Gino got pissed, probably just because he was getting whooped, and then there you go.
And there you go. Go ahead.
So Gino Auriemma has had feuds with several coaches over the years. Muffet McGraw, coach at Notre Dame forever. The great Pat Summitt, coach at Tennessee, and Dawn Staley, the current coach at South Carolina. Conveniently, coaches that have beat him the most in the tournament: Muffet McGraw, Pat Summitt, and Dawn Staley.
Coaches who have had success against UConn and
so I don't think it's a weird thing that the coaches he's feuded with are the ones that have actually kicked his ass in the tournament.
Well, and two, he was like mad over stuff that just didn't happen and like stuff he clearly made up, like the ripped jersey thing. Like, dude, there was no one even. There's no way he could have even like been a distorted view or anything. There was
ripped it herself.
There was nobody 10 feet away from her when that happened. Like,
and she admitted it while he's on the dais talking about they're ripping her shirt. She's like, "Yeah, I ripped it." Like, what is going on?
There was not a lot of missed calls in that game either. I didn't think. That's just. But I hate.
This is what Gino does.
Go ahead, TV. What does Gino do? Oh.
Yeah, he when he loses, he's petty about it. Like Pat Summitt, was very adamant how much she disliked him and stopped playing, the Tennessee UConn series. So this isn't new, right? Mm-hmm. Like Nolan said, I'm not the biggest Dawn Staley South Carolina fan, but this is Gino's MO. His team was outplayed. His star players didn't shoot well. He lost and he pouted and he walked off the floor without shaking the opposing players' hands. That's what I've seen after every single game. I saw it today after the championship game. We have seen coaches have tough losses. You still go and shake the other coach's hand. You shake the other players' hands, right? We saw that. I know that Coach Cal was defeated in 2015, but he shook all those Wisconsin players' hands as they went off the court. Like, that's what the job is. So I'm not a big fan of Gino.
He even shook everyone's hand after those second round losses, too.
Mm. True. The game that got him pretty much fired, he shook the hand of.
He always showed respect at the podium in the press conferences as well.
Dan Hurley last year, I know he blew up afterwards after the loss against Florida, but he still shook Todd Golden's hand, and he waited until he was in the locker room before he said something stupid. But
yeah. So I'm not a Gino fan, but yeah.
All right. So UCLA takes the title on the women's side. The men's final game Monday nights it will be UConn and Michigan. UConn beat Illinois yesterday 71-62, and Michigan dominated Arizona 91-73. Michigan's run, guys, is in this 5-game stretch. Let me see where my little notes are here are. They well, damn it, I can't find my notes. Anyways, they're this 5-game stretch, they've scored at least 90 points all 5 games and have won by double digit. I mean, it's definitely an impressive run for them. And then you got UConn and Dan Hurley, who is, just basically, getting back to this final Monday of the season once again. TB, I'll start with you. Looking ahead, UConn and Michigan. What you got? Who you got? Why you got?
As you can see, it doesn't matter who wins. TB's always prepared. But, Michigan's looking tough, but I'm not going to count out Connecticut. They are knocking on the door of joining the big boys. And so I'm going to lean toward Hurley and UConn somehow getting it done again, as crazy as that sounds.
Stay tuned, Michelle. We will be pivoting over to Kentucky news, basketball and football. Dave, I'll stay with you. Michigan, UConn, what are you thinking? Yeah. What are you feeling?
Well, a couple things. I will stand on business. 9:00 Monday night, national championship games are stupid, so that needs to change. So I've been 0 for 2 on my national champions for Division I basketball. I picked Texas, and they got eliminated. Picked Arizona, they got absolute boat race. I think UConn's probably going to win it, selfishly just for the big.
Which they have opened as of right now 7.5. That's it. 7.
I kind of hope not, so they can just kind of stay away and stop creeping up on us ever so slightly. I know rattle some feathers, and I said UConn is now officially a blue blood. I know a lot of the old heads especially don't like that, but it just kind of is what it is. He's been to this is his 3rd championship game in 4 years?
4 years.
Like so there is no denying what he's doing with that program. and they're going to know.
Here's another thing we can't deny about Dan Hurley. I'm showing this. Coaches, guys, minimum of 20 games. Dan Hurley has the second best winning percentage. I mean, Coach K, Roy Williams, and potentially
who's that guy on the far right?
Might be introduced as the North Carolina coach later this month. We'll you don't think? We'll talk about that. All right, we'll see.
And we was talking about Dan Hurley and NBA jobs open, and what was it? The Knicks or the Nets came open?
Lakers.
The Lakers.
He turned it down.
He turned the Lakers down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're coming after him. He's saying no. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see whenever one where the close teams opens up. But he's got him made right now at UConn, so I wouldn't leave.
Nolan, your take tomorrow night?
I think UConn's going to win.
UConn is a favorite, by the way. Again,
Michigan, I think, is the favorite.
I'm sorry, Michigan is the favorite. I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this? 6.5 as of right now.
Yeah. Linda Borg being as limited as he's going to be, I mean, it's going to be tough for Michigan to really get in the rhythm, I feel like. Hopefully I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I'm definitely pulling for Michigan, but UConn's such a machine once they get past the first weekend. Usually especially when they get in the Final Four, just semifinal on, they're just a machine. They're unbeatable.
Drew, I
got Michigan. I think they're just a wagon. I think you saw it last night. Lindenborg gets 2 fouls in the first minute and a half of the game, and they didn't even take a break. Roddy Gale came in. He was awesome in the game. I just think they're too good. Obviously, the Yaxel injury might cause some issues, especially on the defensive end, because UConn runs a lot of actions, and that could get really tricky depending on their defensive game plan of him chasing around some of the UConn wings and guards and stuff. But I think this Michigan team I think they're incredible. I think they've been that way all year, and I think they're going to win tomorrow. And I think they're going to be in that conversation as one of the better college basketball teams we've seen in the history, just of the pure dominance that they've had. They're up there with some of the best that we've seen in college basketball. So I think they get the job done.
Okay, sorry, mute. Let me share this other little nugget. Since 2000, guys, UConn 7 Final Four appearances. You see the rest. They're tied with North Carolina and Michigan State. TB, you've taken a few dings because you have labeled UConn as a blue blood. Talk to us about that. Hello.
I mean, they're going for 7 championships since I graduated high school. That's pretty remarkable. If they win, they'll be number 3 all time, and that's only UCLA and Kentucky. How are they not a blue blood at this point? You can't call them a flash in the pan, right? They won back in '99. They won.
Who was that year? What was it? Who was the star?
UConn has figured it out on the men's and women's side. The coaches that was Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, Rip. That's it. Yep.
Hamilton team and Khalid El-Amin, and then 04 was Okafor. So
there you go. When it comes to UConn too, there's also this. Let me see. UConn is the only FBS public school that spends more money on basketball than football.
Could believe it.
And the you look at what the women have done under Gino, but look at Dan, what he's done. I mean, it's this run of his since 2023, 2 titles, 3 Final Fours, 17-1 record. March Madness record. And
don't get it twisted. Carolina, Kentucky fans, we like to remind people you got to have multiple coaches that have won. They've had 3 that have won championships. Yeah. No one really remembers Kevin Ollie. I do because I'm a Kentucky fan, but it's Jim Calhoun. It's Kevin Ollie, who most people couldn't pick out of a lineup, and then it's Dan Hurley. It's 3 different guys that have won championship. And our Cats have been a victim to 2 of those directly, right? So at this point, if you're saying they're not a blue blood, they're not at the big boys table, they're more of a blue blood than Arizona, because people keep trying to slide Arizona in, and basically Arizona's history is what Cal did his first 6 years at Kentucky. Arizona's not a blue blood.
Who keeps trying to put them in?
Arizona, they didn't even won.
They hadn't been in a Final Four in 25 years until.
But I know everybody swears I make stuff up, but I've seen people repeatedly There was an ESPN guy quote tweeted, like, y'all keep sneaking Arizona in, like we don't know what their resume is. Like
Sean Miller
5 Final
some
Fours
great years there, but he never even made one.
And one title, that's not blue blood. But UConn, because they're kicking everybody's ass over the last 30 years.
Yep, agreed. Okay, so real quick, TB, you got who tomorrow night? You have Michigan. Who'd you say you got?
It really doesn't matter because I'm prepared either way, but I'm gonna go with Connecticut.
All right, because that's the cleanest
if you
jersey.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, man. Like this is Ray Allen. This is Jesus.
That's right.
On this Easter Sunday, and this is my tractor trailer jersey for you old heads. So
Robert.
It doesn't really matter. You will see a picture of me in either whoever wins. So
it'll look like you were a fan of whoever, right? Because you'll support the jersey. Davo,
long time fan.
Yeah, Davo, you have who? UConn? Do you say UConn?
I think UConn just because Michigan's a little banged up, and I think Hurley's just kind of on a rampage right now. So
all right. And Nolan, you said
I got UConn. Same reason, banged up. Like us in 2014, right?
Yeah. And Drew.
I'm the only one with Michigan.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope everyone knows that I'm not like happy to pick UConn. I hope Michigan wins by
I think Matt in the chat's on my side though. He said great take, so shout out him.
Yeah, you're still outnumbered. It's good.
All right. You got one fan there. All right. That's the Final Four, man. I can't lie. I think I'll speak for me, but I think I echo a lot of Kentucky fans that it's always disappointing for, this weekend to come and go and our beloved Cats are nowhere near the conversation. Hopefully it'll change.
Real quick for all of you, I was 10 years old last time Kentucky played in the Final Four. I'm a taxpayer and I can buy a beer and all that now. So there you go.
I think I was 11.
So there you go. We were both in elementary school.
Maybe 12, something like that.
Well, fuck you guys. I was 26.
My bad, Davo.
Hey, it's a good way to put it.
Well, at least you get some good experiences though when you were a kid. Like I was 9 years old when they won the national championship. I can barely even remember that.
Oh,
that was like my second year. It was my first year of actually following the whole thing, and my second year of being paying attention.
Okay,
which probably ruined my life to look at it. The first year was a national title, but whatever.
All right, I get it.
Dragon.
Some of us are old, some of us are not. All right. Kentucky men's basketball. The portal, Drew, correct me if I'm wrong, officially begins tomorrow after the game.
Tuesday.
Or it actually begins technically Tuesday or right after the game?
Oh, it might be after the game, like midnight or.
Well, then that would be Tuesday.
Yeah.
That would be, and it's pretty likely a 9-18 tip off. We'll be pushing.
You got to change that bullshit. I'm telling you, you got to change that.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, this is step up. Give us the latest and greatest with the men's basketball portal recruiting.
Yeah, so obviously over the last week, you started to see some guys departure and head out. Jasper Johnson entering the portal, Brandon Garrison entering the portal, Jalen Lowe entering the portal. I believe that's it right now, just 3 of them. I would probably say, I don't know, just guessing, nothing confirmed, but I would say maybe a couple more, 1 or 2, maybe 3 more could enter, just depending on some late, I guess, negotiations or conversations and stuff. So keep an eye out for that. I guess with recruiting
negotiations, that is where we're at now.
Yeah. And then obviously there's a lot of talks about a lot of guys out there with the portal of who Kentucky could reach out to. I could name you 100 guys, but I really don't want to do that right now just because things change so fast. So
we have to be done by 10 because of
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're going to see it on Tuesday. There's going to be a lot of, reports coming out, guys visiting, guys having phone call conversations with Kentucky. And then you'll see it going pretty fast. But keep in mind, too, just because guys are not from our current team in the portal on Tuesday does not mean they can't enter. The portal window is from April 7th to April 21st. So guys can only enter in that window. They can't enter when the window closes, but guys can still commit when the window closes. So pay attention to that. And then I saw a comment about Stokes to KU. I think there was some confidence in Kentucky's side about a week or so ago that they could kind of make a late push. It's not guaranteed. Things can change fast in recruiting, especially one that has dragged out this long. But from what I've heard over the last probably 48 hours it seems like it's headed that Tyron Stokes will be going to Kansas. So we'll see. Maybe Kentucky can throw a Hail Mary late. Damn it. But we'll see. We'll see about that.
Nolan, anything you want to add when it comes to the portal recruiting?
I'm not an insider. I'm not locked in. I don't know anything, but I will say about the Stokes thing. Pope needed that. Whatever. He needs a win bad with this portal class. That's just so evident. I think they know that he's going to have to, even if he doesn't get Stokes, he's going to have to go get the high end talent in the portal, or else it's just going to be rough next year, regardless. I mean, but I've said that like 150,000 times. Stokes also had an interesting exchange with a fan today. It looked like on Instagram. That's not a good sign to me at all.
Is that the one where the UK fan said he was had committed, or what the fuck?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, I can read it here. He says, "Y'all actually make me laugh. Y'all realize I'm an 18-year-old trying to make the biggest decision of my life while the whole world is basically rushing me. Decisions like this take time, and there's lots of things to factor in other than money." And then he had like the facepalm emoji, whatever the heck. So yeah, not a good look, especially after the potential thing that came out about Pope and Cal. And yeah, I think he needs Stokes bad, but it just doesn't look good. It doesn't good if you got people like Drew saying that it looks like it's
people like Drew. Well, people like Drew.
I trust him.
We trust. We know the three, Lowe, Johnson, and Garrison entering the portal. Do we anticipate any of the others?
Yelovich, I would be shocked if he came back.
Better yet, who do you think comes back?
I feel good about Colin Chandler and Malachi Marino coming back.
So there's no real truth or story there with Chandler potentially going back to BYU, or
I think there was, and maybe there still is, but I would be shocked if he really entered the portal and left. I just don't really see it, but obviously, things can change fast. You never know. I mean, so we'll see. I feel good about Malachi coming back.
Which one of the guys have? I know a few have definitely committed to next season. Who has?
Nobody right now has 100%.
No, I thought, didn't Hawthorne come out?
Well, he did, but that was
I'm sorry.
That was a article written by the Lexington Herald Leader, and maybe they're right, but for me personally, I don't buy into that until Braden Hawthorne says it himself of like, I'm 100%, where there's like something set in stone.
Don't forget Cutter Boley was coming back according to Mark Stoops. Yeah, that's a big thing.
So these things change fast. Until a player really makes it official with a video or a picture or just a tweet or something of like, I'm coming back, I don't buy it. And who knows, these guys might be still hanging around for the next week or so, and then Kentucky could get a commit from somebody, and then one of them decides, Kentucky got this commit, I'm going to enter the portal now because that's just changed my role or those things. So I'm surprised, honestly, some of the guys I kind of expect to enter the portal potentially, or I would say it's likely for them to. I'm surprised we haven't seen those guys do it, but these things are weird. Sometimes it's, agents wanting them to hang around at Kentucky just to be safe, because for a lot of schools, once a guy enters the portal, Coach Cal talks about this. If you enter the portal and you leave, he's not letting you come back. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how Coach Pope would feel about that. Like, let's say, I don't know, just hypothetically, Jasper's in the portal. He doesn't kind of get offers that he thought he would, or playing time, or, calls Coach Pope and like, hey, I want to come back and play at Kentucky. Like, is there a spot for me? That's something that we don't know. So we'll see. I would say over the next week, you're going to start to see just dominoes start falling like crazy, with potentially guys committing here, visits being scheduled, phone calls, guys entering the portal if they feel like they need to do that. So over the next week, things are going to start going down.
Yeah, the comment here in the chat, Kentucky has had many role players, no studs. I mean, wait, you could argue he might have been, a stud. I mean, but I get your point. I mean, it's talent-wise, and this was let me shift gears because one, the other talking point, there was this CBS document or thing where they were talking to Coach Pope, and Cal has made the same kind of comments as well, where both coaches have privately vented that BBN, the fan base, is negatively affected recruiting since 2020. That's the hearsay. Where the other fan bases, other programs are using that negativity against Kentucky, and it's supposedly cost us multiple elite recruits. TB, I'll start with you. Fair, foul? Is that you think that's accurate?
It's a nuanced conversation, right?
Yeah.
So we, as the Big Blue Nation, we say that we are the best fans anywhere ever, right? That's what we say. And we say that because we show up, we have all this good support when people recruit, we're out there, we tweet at them, we let them know that we love them, we're posting, we're doing all this kind of stuff. So for me, it's intuitive that the negative is also there. It's a double-edged sword. So where we're good, we can also be bad, right? And so to me, it's like, one, the coaches need to recruit over that. But two, I do think it's a factor, right? I see a lot of people, because the kid from Duke was talking about how he's been treated, all these different kids, and I see a lot of people saying, I thought it was just Kentucky. Nobody's saying that, right? We're saying we don't need a grown man making a video about Malachi Marino sucking, right? We don't need that. And so there's a lot of things we don't need. What hurts me is when a Kentucky fan gets way out of line and people say, hey, man, that was out of line. And then people are like, well, that happens everywhere. And my thing is, I thought we were supposed to be better. I thought Kentucky was supposed to be better than this. Now, then a lot of people say, because it makes them feel good, that's just a small percentage. You can't look at the state of the world today, and I'm not getting political. You can't look around and tell me that evil people, bad people is a small percentage. It just isn't, right? Like,
no, they've always been out there, and without getting political, the landscape with the world today.
And so like, they're getting paid, I'm going to do this. So if you're a top recruit, right, let's pretend, and look, I'm going to bring this in. My oldest daughter has been recruited, not at the D1 level, been recruited. I'm looking at the total environment that she's going to spend for 4 years as a parent. So if I'm looking at 3 or 4 places, okay, for example, a top D1 kid, you're looking at Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, everything's the same. NIL is equivalent. I want them to go where they're going to have the best experience. And I don't want you fucking crazy people in their social media mentions coming up to them at events. So to think that we have no effect on these kids is stupid. It just is stupid. Like, we can't just be here for the good. We also have to be responsible for the bad. That's my 2 cents.
That was it might have been more closer to 3 cents. Davo, jump in. Your take on this tone.
There may be some truth to it. I mean, let's just call it is what it is. Takeaway did say that they do scroll their Twitters and read a lot of that shit.
They're kids, man.
Yeah. Well, they're adults, but
young adults,
young men.
Yeah.
So it's very fair, especially nowadays. I know we always talk about the way they get paid and stuff now, but so for one, you should never be an asshole or threaten anybody on social media in general. Just whoever you are to anybody in general. But it is fair to be critical of their play, right? I mean, especially I know TV nowadays, especially when they are getting paid now, like professionals. It is okay to be critical, and it's also good to praise them as well whenever they do good things, like hit a 50-foot shot to stay in the tournament against Santa Clara, right? So that's awesome, but at the same time, there's no room in this world to be a dickhead and tag these players and threaten them and call them all kinds of vulgar names and race. I'm sure all kinds of racist remarks and stuff like that. Shit ain't cool. If I was a top talent, which I'm not. And, I was lucky enough to play a little bit of varsity basketball, but that's as far as I got. But if I was, I wouldn't want to put up with that shit. But I mean, there's going to be fans like that all over the place. It just kind of is what it is, and it's not fair to the players. And basically what I'm saying is quit doing that bullshit. Right? Praise them, get mad at them, but stop tagging them and stop threatening them. Okay, it's stupid.
Nolan, 5-10 years ago, we would say, BBN, leave the student athletes alone. They're not student athletes anymore. I mean, they're in a sense getting paid to do a job. I mean, does it? Yeah, I see. No, in no way ever is it okay for, I think, any fan to just go at someone and talk about their fan, all this shit. But at the same time, too, if you're a loyal fan who puts their time and money into the program, I mean, where I'm going with that. But
it gives you the right to criticize. It doesn't give you the right to send a text message death threat to a player and call him a racial slur and
absolutely
whatever else. Yeah, look, it's a really touchy subject, I know, to a lot of people right now, but I don't know. I'll say what I want. I don't think it hurts as much as people think it does or are acting like it does. There's no way that Tyron Stokes or, whoever else has looked at the fan base of Kentucky and goes, well, I love Kentucky, but they have a crazy fan base. And this one guy said this one thing. I'm just never going to go to Kentucky. That definitely is not the main.
Well, the thing is that Stokes might not say it, but but someone might be saying it.
There may be a couple guys out there, but that's not what's causing what's happening in recruiting. What's causing what's happening in recruiting is pretty much just that we have a head coach that has no idea how to connect to these top end talents. And, he comes off strong, and I think he just doesn't have the same values as a lot of these guys do. And blaming the fans is a cop-out. It's a cop-out answer. But at the same time, I'm sure it has had an impact. That being said, though, I mean, I agree with this comment that says we need to ban the people that are texting, messaging these kids directly, calling them out and telling them they suck. That's probably true. Messaging them directly is my big. Criticizing their play, like I had a tweet where I said, like, I've made the same amount of layups as Brandon Garrison has at the University of Kentucky. I'm not trying to defend myself on that, but that's not me saying like something really personal about Brandon Garrison. I didn't go at him or, come after him personally.
But was that factually correct, Nolan?
No, it wasn't factually correct. It wasn't supposed to be, Kevin.
My point is that if it's true, then, so what about if it hurts your feelings? Facts don't give a shit about feelings.
So I think what we're doing is conflating criticism with the hate stuff.
That's pretty much exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
So what we're doing as fans is like, well, you're a professional now, so why? Like these guys that get the players that get on TV that talk about the abuse they're suffering. Like we've got all these players talking about the racial slurs and the death threats. That's what they're talking about specifically. The fans are like, I can't talk about a guy going for 2 for 10. That's not what they're saying. No. Like Otega always not saying when he had that 8-point game against whoever it was, South Carolina. Yeah, they're not saying, don't tell me I only had 8 points. What these players are saying is, please stop calling me a nigger. Please stop telling me you're going to kill my family. Those are two separate things, and we're conflating them because it makes us feel good because these guys earn money now. And so, well, you went 2 for 10, so I'm going to kill your family. They're two separate things, and we need to stop conflating. Yes, we can criticize. That's not what they're complaining about. They're not complaining about
that's not criticism. That's a freaking crime.
Right. That's what they're saying is, please, if I miss a jump shot, please stop calling me a porch monkey. That's what these players are saying. And we collectively are like, you went 2 for 10, so you're getting paid now. It's not all of us. It's two separate things that we're putting together.
I agree with this comment. It says Bruce Richardson that every fan base does have a percentage of bad fans. Every fan base has.
It is.
But at the same time, the problem is we're such a huge fan base that our 3% is probably more people than a lot of others.
Yes, exactly.
And the same goes for Duke. They're a large fan base too. That's just going to be that way with them. Yeah. So the Caden Boozer stuff, and that's not to
which he's likely going to be transferring out of Duke as well.
I wouldn't be shocked, but yeah.
He better after that pass.
Yeah,
It was a pretty terrible play.
that was bad. That was bad. Let me go with a couple of comments. Mike says, "Well, I hear how the fans hurt recruiting. I'm 50. Fans have always been idiots. Is it just now hurting recruiting? They put a for sale. I forgot about that. Put a for sale sign in Tubby's.
Did it at Cal's house too. Did the same thing at Cal.
I mean, recruiting isn't recruiting like it was, I don't know, even 10 years ago, right? I mean, there's still so much more into it in picking the school now, right? I mean, it's the financials, it's still the coach, it's still the program. But I mean, there's so much more now that goes into it. So it's hard to compare what it was, I don't know, even 10, 15 years ago till now. So it's hard to answer that.
Sean says, just win and fans won't ever say anything. But when you spend $22 million on a team, we are going to bitch. Also, Coach Cal had this place rocking 2010 to 2018. Yeah, we've never discounted Cal's first 10 years are is arguably the best 10-year window of our program.
I'm going to say one more thing, then I'm going to shut up. I'm sorry, Nolan.
No, you're good.
You're going to say lots of things.
So once again, I just talked about how recruiting was 18 years ago, and that's whenever Cal had it rocking, right? And then we had, I think last show I said, so what has Calipari done since he's been at Arkansas, right? Shit, compared to what he did at UK the first 10 years, right? So, I mean, quit talking about that, basically what I'm saying. Like, shut up about what Cal did. Like, we appreciate that, but shut up.
We really got to move on from Cal, just as a whole.
Well, I mean, so Cal tired of the Cal worshiping. I don't know.
Who on here
were we
worshiping
worshiping? I don't know. No. We weren't worshiping me. I mean, but the truth is, you can't discount what Cal did during his 10. Yes, the last few years, 5 years, whatever.
We thank you with that over and over and over again. Like, thank you, but it's okay.
Yeah.
No, at the same time, and I'm not going at you or anything, but at the same time, you got to move on from Cal. We got to talk about what we have right now because Cal's gone.
Gone. Isn't that
the worst?
Isn't that a thing that you lay in the tub and put on?
Cal gone, take me away.
That's
an 80s commercial, Kevin. They may not get it. It's an 80s commercial.
I was going to say they don't.
Yeah, I wasn't around back then.
We get it. We got the you were only 11 or whatever it was and
10.
I mean,
10. I feel even older.
I mean, there's a reason why Cal ain't here no more, Jeff. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
there's a reason.
Either way, though, I think the fans thing has had an impact for sure on some individuals, but as a whole, I just cannot see where that's been the sole reason why people are not coming to Kentucky. It's a cop out. It's a defense mechanism. It's all it is.
Yeah, and we've said it. His last 5 years, I mean, we've ad nauseum talked about that.
No one's defending his last 5 years.
No, at all.
No, nobody on the show at all today has said anything about him.
All I'm saying is you can't take down those 4 banners. No. Like those are up there as well. All I've ever said is tell the whole story.
Yep.
Right. You focus on the last 5. I'm looking at the last 10, but look at the whole 15.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But I get it. A lot of it is always, what have you done for me lately? What he did lately, not so good.
And he's no longer the coach.
And he's no longer the coach.
That's the thing is like, what did Cal do? Like, that's why he's not here. He's no longer sitting at one of the best jobs in America. Like, he's paying his penance because he's in fucking Fayetteville, Arkansas. What more do we put him at the middle of fucking Broadway in Lexington?
He gets to do that suey thing.
Yeah,
like all of us get to do that.
You don't mean to tell me like he doesn't understand that he's no longer at a blue blood? He's paying his penance.
Yeah, and that's fine. All right, let's switch gears, keep this rolling. Talk to us, Drew. What's the latest and greatest with Kentucky football recruiting?
It's definitely getting kind of interesting. This is kind of the time of the year where really coaches are recruiting super, super hard because it's kind of the only thing that they can do outside of like spring practice, spring camp, those things. So I know there's a couple of options out there. I think Kentucky's in a good spot for some other than some other ones, but I think they're trying to lock down some big time, at least one big time quarterback recruit or, highly viewed upon quarterback recruit, which is important for Will Stein. And then working everything else, they've had a ton of big time recruits on campus over the last, really since Will Stein got here.
Very impressive.
Things that we haven't seen in a long time from Kentucky football. Obviously just because they come to campus doesn't mean we get them. Will Stein's got to do his job to lock them down or, and secure their commitments and those things. things. He's lost 2 in specific that I could think of that would have been really nice to get. Never know, though. Football recruiting's different. You could come in at the last second and flip a guy on National Signing Day or something. So we'll see if he could do that. I don't think it's probably likely, but for those 2 specific guys, but I think they're in a good spot with a lot of really, really talented players. And hopefully, over the next month and a half, they can maybe get some commitments or start pushing their way into some of these big time kids and put themselves in a good spot before the season starts. Because, when the season starts, you can't recruit as hard as you do in the off season, but you kind of get the games to get guys on visits and stuff. So I like where they are, and we'll see kind of what happens over the next few months or so, but I expect Will Stein to bring in a pretty solid recruiting class. I'll say that.
Dave-O, from what you've seen, just from the social media landscape and from all of our friends and partners who are posting about football, what are you thinking, feeling?
Yeah, kudos to the UK media, just in general, UK football media. I mean, they've been sending out some killer videos of spring practice. I'm just seeing all those deep balls from Minchie, on target and not a lot of drops, which is pretty sexy to Kentucky fans over the last few years. Seeing all the drop passes, and just excuse me, told you allergies. 1 second. So yeah, and just seeing the mention of the tight end, about how Willie Rodriguez is, a stud, and like not getting him the ball would be like a bad idea. So. It's awesome. Stein has came in and obviously gave us a shot of positivity that we've needed over the last few years dealing with some very mediocre football. He's obviously bringing in some awesome recruits. He kind of got hired at a weird time, like his first day on the job was National Signing Day, and he was kind of behind on the 27 class too. So he's hit the ground running. The guy don't sleep, it seems like. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Super encouraging.
Yep. TB, same to you.
I'm excited. Go Cats.
Go Cats. Nolan, anything to add?
Yeah, I think he takes it incredibly seriously, maybe a little more seriously than the previous coach had at the tail end of his tenure for sure in the recruiting end. Like with Snick, a driver, whenever they lost him, I think he took that really personally. Not on the player, but I think he definitely took on himself. I think he thinks he needs to get every player in the state. And
that's not over yet, though.
I don't think it is. No.
Never know. You could slide in through the back door on signing day. And
that's the thing with football, too, that people forget. A commitment is not final in football. It never has been. It never will be, more than likely.
Not now. Not with this.
No, and then the money's made it worse, to be honest with you.
And even if he does go there, I mean, who's to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could go sit the bench for a year, and he's in the portal. And football is weird like that because there's you got to be there for 3 years. There's so many roster spots. I think you get like 110 roster spots now. So there's so many guys that we'll see. But go back.
I keep seeing it. A lot of like national guys are picking us too to be like, they think if it's going to be the next Indiana, it's Kentucky. They're big on Will Stein. I'm not going to go that far, but I already.
Why? But why not though? Why not? Indiana just freaking their season. It's a freaking game changer right now.
Hey, I'm going to stand my ground from what I've said for the last year and a half. Maybe we don't have to expect a national championship, but we can expect to at least compete for a playoff in a 12-team era every now and then.
Yeah, just compete.
I don't know if that's going to happen this year. This schedule is going to be a nightmare for year one, but we got a good.
I mean, they're all nightmares at this point.
Well, yeah, but we're in the SEC. That's how it goes.
Yeah. And then the Louisville game on top of it, like you got 10 big time football games.
Yeah, that's true.
I was waiting for this someone to make. This
Kentucky fans talk about football. We were knocked out 2 weeks ago. What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I mean, I like to still do. I'd still like to hang with you guys out there on a Sunday night.
Portal's not
rep your program. Who's your program? Rep your program.
Yeah. So we do have a show. We got to talk Kentucky sports.
Yeah, nobody's going
try to talk more than just basketball
tonight. I mean, I know the guy at Tennessee did because
UConn.
We're a UConn show. You're right, buddy. We're a UConn show.
No, that's his team.
You guys might have to change your picks now and start rooting for Michigan.
I'm still picking UConn. I'm going to still pick UConn. I got
Go blue. Go blue.
I'm good either way. So there you go.
But then you got to still have some of the Kentucky fans. They're not going to let Cal go.
Mm-mm.
They're not. And no offense, guys, it makes for good conversation.
Maybe, but dude, we got to move forward. We just have to.
We just have to.
Yeah.
Hey, and I will say this about the football program, just the way that Stein's running it in general. Like, the guy is literally running it like an NFL program. Like, he's got assistant coaches to the assistant coach to the assistant coach. He's got all these different people working all these different analytic departments, all these different video coordinators and strength coaches and GMs and assistant GMs. Like, the guy is spending some serious money, and so he don't have to do like he is delegating a lot to some really smart people.
What's the talked about football budget, Drew?
Oh, I don't know.
Ballpark?
They got 70%, didn't they? Something like that, 70% of the rev share, something like that, of the between all the programs. I think it's pretty high.
I mean, that sounds right. Probably.
Pretty high, yeah. So that's why a lot of people talk about the money that's given to the basketball programs and the football programs. Like, the football, that team has a lot more mouths to feed, so of course they're going to get way more money, right? So that's not even fair.
Yeah, that's true. But you're also in football going to get individually probably less bang for your buck on your deal.
Yeah.
That's fair too. All right,
unless
guys,
you're like a superstar.
Yeah. Speaking of stars, Sporting News is celebrating their 140th birthday, which, that means they're old. 140 greatest moments in sports. So this is their top college basketball teams of all time. Again, I'm just the messenger here, but we'll get everyone's take. TB, there's your Bruins, 1968. That's hard to argue. That team was, but number 2, Kentucky's 1996 team, guys. For the kids on this show, that was Pitino. That team.
Really? I thought it was Joby Hall.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Look at this. This right here alone. Jesus Christ. TB, I'll start with you. I mean, that 96 team, fair. Number 2, definitely one of the top.
The greatest team I've ever seen. Yeah. The greatest team I've ever seen. April 1st, 1996 was still one of the top 5 nights of my life, days of my life. That's after the birth of my children and Mary, my wonderful wife. The celebration that night was fantastic. Watching that team compete as a freshman at UK, it was fantastic. I will fight anybody and say that the 1996 team could beat any team from the 1939 Oregon Ducks to whoever wins this year. I will fight anybody. That team is the greatest team I've ever seen.
And
stop.
Such a defensive team. Crazy. Ahead of that's last my 2 cents. And I know these. No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just say, I got these young kids that were kids when the Calipari days, and then this tweet went out. I think it was Corey Price, like the last team to get to 3 championship games over a 4-year period: 96, 97, 98 Kentucky. My freshman, sophomore, and junior year UK. I was spoiled as a Kentucky student, period.
Yep.
Well, they made sure I wasn't, because I had one of the worst runs in history of the school for my time in college at UK. So thanks for that, Terry.
Davo, you know this team. At least, you were around. Ahead of the last undefeated team, which was IU's 76 team.
Suck at Hoosiers.
Yes, suck at Hoosiers. Duke's 92. Jordan, Worthy, and Perkins. That was a badass team. 82.
Jordan.
And down the list, the number 15 team was the 2012 team, national championship team. Davis, Gilchrist, Kid Gilchrist. It was a loaded team too.
Where's the 15?
What's that?
2015.
2015. It only went up to 15, so I would say
they made that list.
They didn't because they didn't win it.
Yeah. So
but they didn't win. So,
but they won. That's a good point. You kids, I don't know how much you can really contribute to this, but this is good history stuff. Go take it, read it. History 101.
I think 2012 should be higher. I will say that. I think the 2012 should be higher. That team is an incredible team.
No,
I think that Indiana loss and the Vanderbilt SEC tournament.
Even they were good, but yeah, I agree. The two losses, really, that should have been a 40-0 season, but that's okay.
You got a title out of it. Who cares?
I mean, in looking at their list, only one team from the 2000 era. So 20. What was that again? 20.
I will say having the UNLV team from 91 in the top 15, but not 2015 Kentucky is pretty interesting.
Well, this team won the championship. Is it no? This is no. They did not the 90. Right, you're right. You're right. My bad. Yeah,
that's the team that got beat by Duke in the semis.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. And that was they beat Duke the previous.
They lost to the
like third. Yeah, that's right.
They beat the shit out of Duke in 1990.
By like 30. I've rewatched that game. I don't know why I rewatched that game, but I did.
You know what? Can we bring up this last comment about Billy D real quick?
Billy Donovan. All right, go ahead. Oh yeah,
I would love to see him get the job in North Carolina and just come in as old as he is and try to get back in college basketball and just fall flat in his face. I would love to see it. I hope they do hire him, to be honest with you.
I don't think they're going to.
I also don't think that's what's going to happen. I really think that they're headed towards a Mark Pope like situation over there.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have to hire a hot up and coming name because we do forget Pope was.
They should just call Hubert Davis back, tell him they messed up or something.
No, maybe not that.
Just keep the pipeline going. Just go on and get Stackhouse in there.
Yeah,
you know what? That's a good idea.
That'd be a disaster.
No, it's a great idea. I think it's an awesome idea. You should go get North Carolina.
It would be like hiring our Mark Pope.
But 100 times worse.
Yeah, that'd be way worse than Mark Pope. Mark Pope had success at BYU, at least a little bit.
Well, I just mean like as far as like players and beloved.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah. No.
Well, to be honest, that's what Hubert Davis was, and he got fired after 4 years. So, I'm not calling for anybody's job, but we'll see if Mark Pope is in that spot a year or two from now.
My prediction for North Carolina, honestly, I'm going to say that they end up with Mark Byington.
I think that would be a great hire for them, but
it'd be a home run.
They're gonna have to pay like $10 million to get out of his contract from Vanderbilt.
They're going to pay that regardless if they want to coach. Yeah. I mean, I don't see McCaslin leaving Texas Tech. I also don't see. Donovan or waiting on Donovan.
Yeah, it would be. They wouldn't be able to really hire him till like 2 weeks from now, and
the portal's about to open 2 days. That would be a nightmare. And then also got to think of retention on their end. I mean, I just don't see why Donovan's really a good idea for them.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay. All right.
Tubby Smith won a national championship.
He did.
Like, I just want to reiterate.
Yeah, so that he says that Tubby won a title. Yeah.
Time out. Tubby Smith won a national championship, and we see that is fucking hard to do, right? We have seen really good teams fall short of that. Right. Tubby Smith won a national championship, full stop. Full stop.
I'm not going to agree with him entirely. I'm not going to agree with him entirely, but they did win with Roy Williams.
This is their Tubby Smith. Tubby Smith won a national championship.
Well, you know what the asterisk, in BBN's mind, there's an asterisk next to that, TB. I'm saying.
The asterisk is he's the black guy.
Well,
I said that out loud. I'm sorry.
You did.
But my point is Tubby Smith won a national championship. Full stop. Because I see people like, well, Mark Pope is like a Tubby Smith. Tubby Smith won a national championship. Like, full stop. Yeah. And a lot of great coaches don't win.
In his former players, Cameron Mills, I've heard Shepard.
Yes.
Several. Yes, they were part of Rick's team, part of Rick's roster previously, but it was a whole different style. It was just a whole different approach. And so, yeah, Tubby is forever will be, labeled.
He's getting his flowers now, though. I appreciate that he's getting his flowers now. That is a good deal. Like the Big Blue Madness thing.
Because he didn't when he was here. You young kids don't remember. It was brutal. I've talked to a lot of kids, a lot of guys, there's a lot of men that played during that era. Tubby Smith did us a solid.
Well, it may just be me, but I always heard like great things about Tubby, like specifically from my dad. My dad, I think, was a big Tubby homer. Maybe not there at the end, kind of like everybody else, where it's like, all right, it's probably time to move on. But I'd always heard great things about Tubby, so it's kind of it's been surprising to me as I got older to find out that there were people that didn't.
And keep in mind that we talk about Tubby at the end, and his record is the last 2 years of Mark Pope.
Yep.
We talk about how bad it was, and it's Mark Pope.
Let's talk about this. Something, and I hate to bring Cal back up, but I have to for this quick segment. There's a huge part of our fan base, and just actually the sports world, who gives Calipari grief for having all this talent and only one national championship. People, for some reason, think winning a title is like the easiest thing. This is, let's keep it real. This is thank you for a North Carolina person, whatever this is, to post this. But look at, if you can just, I'm not going to say it, all these guys, NBA guys that Duke has had since 2015, they haven't had any title or titles or title game appearances. It's not easy. And I hate that when Calipari or anybody gets labeled, we'll stay with Calipari in Kentucky, is, yes, he's put so many guys in the league and they're all stars, and people are like, why don't we have more titles? Well, first of all, Calipari relied on a bunch of 18-year-olds. They were badass stud 18-year-olds, but they were still kids that were still developing. They weren't NBA All-Stars in their first and one and only season at Kentucky.
TB, can I say it before you do?
What?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go.
You know how hard it is to win a national title? There's one particular program in the country who's been around for 118 years and ain't even seen a Final Four.
99 teams, but the Vols ain't one. Let me just say the mental gymnastics on Calipari have been ridiculous. When he arrived in 2009 from Memphis to Kentucky, the conventional wisdom was you can't win with freshmen, right? We all heard that. You can't win with freshmen. And then it became he didn't win enough with freshmen, right? Do you see how those two things don't match? Maybe it's just me, but you can't be like, you can't win with them, but you didn't win enough with them. And that's, we hate that guy, but whatever. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. All right, Dave, I've let you down a little bit, but I promise it will not go to 90. We're wrapping it up.
I'm having fun.
It's all about you. All right. I used to, not too long ago, be so into MLB baseball, Major League Baseball, that I literally could tell you probably comfortably almost the starters of every team. That's how I was really into it. That's, for some way, I lost my love for the game, and it just became kind of boring. Mainly because I felt that it just, baseball took so long to evolve. I mean, my gripe with Major League Baseball is that you got these old school people who get mad because of a bat flip and, players showing some excitement. And the other thing, too, is that I felt like the umpiring, was not good. What's been your Dave, I know you're a Reds fan. It's our local pro team. What's been your take with this ABS challenge where you've got some umpires who have just gotten bozed badly, and I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. So
because those calls are can change the course of a game. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, there's been no secret that, the MLB and just baseball in general has been a very extremely boring game. And they have done a great job with it, speeding it up with the pitch clock, for one. Having the challenges, holding the umpires, accountable on calls on the bases and stuff. That takes a little bit too long, but I definitely understand why they do that. But the ABS is awesome. It only takes, 5 to 8 seconds to get the call right? Yep. And it's doing exactly what it should do. It's holding the umpires accountable. It's really cool to hear, the crowd. Sometimes the crowd gets even louder, for an overturn, or ball or strike call. And, Gino, the Reds against, I believe, whoever won, the Pirates, I think, he did it twice. And both times, he got the call right and the crowd freaking erupted. So it's awesome. I like it. It's speeding up the game. It's making it funner. And go Reds.
Yeah, TB, recently I'm looking at this Red Sox-Reds game. This umpire had 6 calls overturned. Jeez.
That's the thing. As fans, we've been asking for is some kind of accountability for the official, right? The people oh, you go out there and officiate. That's not what I'm asking for. There just needs to be some kind of accountability for your officials, your umpires. And so I'm all for that, right? Longtime baseball people, we've always heard, this is so-and-so strike zone. No, it's the baseball strike zone, right? Like you don't get your own individual interpretation of a strike zone, right? Like I'm old enough to hear like in the NBA, Joey Crawford's travel is different from somebody. No, just do the rule as it should be, right? Like we all know.
What is the travel rule? Is it 4 or 5 steps now before a travel is called in the NBA?
It's a lot. I love the NBA and I'm not going to shit on it, but I just think we've been looking for accountability for officials. So I'm all for that because everybody else is accountable. The players have to answer for why did you do that? The coaches have to answer for why did you do that? And so the officials get to make these calls that determine wins and losses and championships, and then they just get to disappear into the ether. So I'm all about accountability.
Nolan, anything to add about MLB?
Yeah, Angel Hernandez could have really used this back in his time. It would have been great if we could have had this in when he was still on.
I don't think he would have been a fan of that.
Maybe not, but he sucks, so who cares what he thinks, right? No, it's a good thing. I think we need to find other things like this for basketball, football. Football, they supposedly put the chip in the ball, but I don't think I ever saw them use it. One time, I think I saw them keep bringing the chains out and see where that's necessary, but still.
We're getting replacement refs too, so watch out for that.
Heck yeah, let's do it. 2012, just like it's 2012, baby. 2012 was a great year. We should definitely repeat that all the time in the NFL. But no, I think we should definitely look at other things like this in other sports.
Drew, anything to add?
No, I don't watch the MLB much anymore. I grew up. I was a huge St. Louis Cardinals fan. But as I got older, the MLB and baseball just in general, I lost my passion for it. But anything they do to improve the game, like there's multiple things in college basketball I wish that were changed. Like the quarter system, I think would help speed the game up because you saw last night Illinois, and I think it was in the Illinois-UConn game. Illinois was in the double bonus. I think there was still more than 10 minutes left in the half.
I agree with that.
Those things just kill the timing of basketball games because you're shooting free throws all the time. And so
jump ball too. We need to change that.
What'd you say?
Jump ball arrow, possession arrow.
I agree with that too.
Anything to speed the games up and improve the quality of the game, I think is beneficial. So get on the MLB, make it some changes, and hopefully I like the new college basketball rule with the challenges and stuff. I think that was pretty good this year. But then you have some calls that refs are over there at the monitor for 5 minutes, and it's like, come on, let's get this thing back on the road.
I think they need to mirror the NBA a little more than they do with that rule.
Yeah.
I think exactly the way the NBA does it is proper to me. That I think we need to look into that instead of the whole, well, it's a challenge this time, but last time it was an appeal. That's why.
Yeah, I don't understand what the difference is and makes it
anybody does. I don't think anybody does. Yeah.
And the appeal, I don't think you lose a timeout but the challenge you do, but it's like the same thing. It makes, I don't know. Some people I think that are in charge. I don't think they know what they're doing, but
only form of basketball that plays 2 halves and not 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Probably should look into that.
Probably. All right. Let's conclude this. Final shot time. Davo, I've done my best. Drew, I'll start with you. Final shot of the night, sir.
Final shot. Kind of sad every year, the night of the national championship game. When college basketball season's over, it's what I look forward to. It's what I do in my free time. So I always get kind of sad. Especially like when the one shining moment comes on. And the last few years, though, we've got screwed in watching that, seeing Jack Golke highlights. And so this year, I'm guessing Ortega's shot will be in there, which will be cool. And then on to, I guess I'll get into deep into the NBA and get ready for the playoffs there. But and then following the transfer portal. So, the season ends, but then the crazy season starts the next day. So, that's my final shot.
The whole portal conversation should pick up on next week's show. So let's stay tuned.
I would say by next week's show, there's going to be a lot of news probably.
A lot of news. This will be like, Drew, will you please stop talking? Nolan, final shot, bud.
Yeah, first of all, happy Easter. I enjoy getting to go home. I enjoy getting to go to church with my family. That's a special thing. I don't get too religious, but it's a lot more fun to me to praise God with my loved ones. So happy Easter to everybody. And also, I hope with basketball that we can have good years in my adult life instead of me referring to me being 10 years old last time we were in a Final Four and 9 when we were in a title game. So
I know I'm sick of it.
Let's look into that
please, let's have some success. So these kids on here don't keep reminding me.
Well, we're going to enter at some point within the next 5 years if nothing changes, where people younger than us are going to start changing the expectation of what great is at Kentucky basketball. So you got 5 years, whoever the new AD is, please don't screw it up. And yeah, that's about it. I like talking baseball. I'm not very shy about who I'm repping. Go orange and black. Probably back to another mediocre season. Thanks for having me.
Always, brother. TB, final shot, then.
Final shot. This past Friday, I had my first colonoscopy, and I say that to share with men and folks in general. Take care of your health. Be preventative with your mental and physical health. And the colonoscopy wasn't all that bad. So take care of yourself, folks.
Wasn't all that bad, huh?
No, man.
No, man. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't. I'm not going to do it again, right? Like I'm not going to go tomorrow. But
next time, take your legal pad with a bunch of fun facts about colonoscopies. I think that'll
like it was. Hey, just for you, Nolan, I'm going to hold on to my notepad with all these notes in case I need to pull them out.
I want to make a bet with you right now. If Kentucky makes the Final Four next year, will you eat 3 pieces of paper off of that note?
Man, look, if Kentucky makes a Final Four next year, I will absolutely get a notepad. Like I'll eat a whole pad of paper.
How about just a single Post-it? That would be
no. If they make the Final Four,
you gotta go all out.
I will put barbecue sauce on it. I'll do all kinds of stuff if they make a Final Four.
Barbecue sauce. You're keeping the stereotype alive, TB.
Maybe we eat the Post-it note to try to bring good luck. That way we go to the Final Four and then the whole notepad is
okay.
Little
I'm holding on to it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'll shut up.
Davo, I'm trying to shut this down, and they're talking about eating paper. Davo, final shot.
Yeah, stop being a Psycho fan. Cheer for your team, but stop being psycho. For sure. Damn, what else was I going to say? I got lost in the paper talk. Yeah, stop doing that. Kentucky baseball, get it together. It's getting pretty annoying. You just lost a series to the worst team in SEC. Not good. Not good at all. Other than that, go Big Blue. And the portal is opening really soon. It's kind of a long process. Chill out. Don't sweat. Whenever we quote unquote whiff. Please try your best to have Open Pope. Because he's got year 3, and we've talked about that many times.
He's got at least year 3.
Yeah, so just hang in there. Let's just see what happens. Okay, enjoy the process, but stop being a dickhead.
I can recite my year 3 spiel. She knows it forward and backwards.
Yeah,
year 3.
DB, I'm going to tag you every time somebody asks about that, so just be ready so you can explain.
But people
stats don't lie.
Mad at me. People are mad at me. People are mad. Like it's different, and it's not the same, and it's not. I'm like, I covered 80 years of Kentucky basketball. It's changed, but Kentucky wins no matter what until now. But I need to be better. Love y'all.
All right, good stuff as always. Nolan, you got your podcast. You got anything coming up?
Just Breaking Blue. We're just going to be talking about portal. Me and Wyatt Huff, Kentucky Wildcats on SI. We'll just talk about the portal. Talk about whatever's going around at that time. Who knows who we're going to be talking about within 12 hours from now, even so.
Drew is going to be fluid. Drew's a busy boy. I do look forward to next week. Next week's show should give us some good insight on where we're at.
Hopefully we got some commitments and stuff to start looking forward to, not this depressing time in Kentucky basketball. We need some positivity.
All right, guys.
Although we believed in it last year, and then we fell flat on our faces. So also, just because we get one commit doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to win number 9 next year either. So
relax.
All right, guys. For this edition of Round of Shots on Easter Sunday, TB, Davo, Nolan, and Drew wishing everyone a good night, a good week. We'll be back next Sunday. Until then, go Cats. Peace out. Later.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Bleed Blue Network podcast. We hope you enjoyed diving deep into the world of Kentucky sports with us. Don't forget to stay connected by following us on Twitter at BleedBNation. Your feedback means the world to us. So take a moment to leave a review. Not only does it help us improve, but it also helps others discover the show. Until next time, keep cheering, keep listening, and keep bleeding blue.